Thank you to the Bending Saiyan for their generous donation on Patreon. April 18th, Tuesday. April 18th, Tuesday. This looks like a casino. What the fuck? Such a beautiful day. The sun is bright, the sky is blue, I want to fucking die. The weather is mild, the breeze outside ruffles the leaves of the trees, covering the parks and streets in green and pink, carrying the scent of greenery in the air. It is without a doubt a wonderful day. Nothing could possibly ruin it. Let's see how long that fucking lasts. No one could possibly be sad or upset or preoccupied on a day like this. Fucking bet, bitch. I am fucked. Well, except for... Oh, wow, wow, wow! June, seriously, sit down. I try repeating it for the umpteenth time, hoping that this time he'll actually register what I'm saying. Or that he won't disregard me, at least. I can't sit down, I can't keep myself set down, I just can't! His voice is 2 keys higher than usual, and he's stuttering so much that I can barely make out what he's saying. His entire body is shivering. Is this adrenaline coursing through him, or is he just quaking in fear? Honestly, I have no idea. Come on, why are you so nervous? Didn't you say you performed live before? Didn't you used to take part in competitions? Yeah, but it's been so long since the last time. How long exactly? About 7 years. Are you asking me or telling me? I'm not sure. Great, he's not making sense. Come on, June, you have experience with this. You should have learned to believe in yourself by now. Having experience doesn't mean I can't screw up. A single mistake could stop me from getting to the next stage. Look, just sit down for a minute and try to compose yourself, okay? I put my hands on both of his shoulders and force him down on one of the benches that I have in the lobby. Honestly, though, this place is massive. It's so full of people that I feel a bit on edge. I could definitely understand why June would be bothered. Just breathe, okay? Nice, long, deep breaths. I try showing him some breathing exercises, but he fails pathetically at all of them. His breathing is so rapid and ragged that I'm afraid he might just give himself a heart attack. Actually, could he be having a panic attack? You fucking think? Wait, could it be that what he had last time was a panic attack? I've never had one, but aren't the symptoms something like this? Ah, great. It's at times like these that I wish I knew something about medicine. I kneel down to stray eye, level with him, putting one hand on his shoulder and the other on his chest. I immediately start to feel awkward as memories of what happened yesterday flash in my mind. Still, I try to ignore them as best as I can. Alright, now, I need to help June. Alright, first things first, when I learned about panic attacks, I remember Shuichi telling me about this. June, look at me, okay? Look at me in the eyes. Can you do that for me? June sits his eyes on my face. His eyes are bloodshot and scared, but he does as I say, slowly nodding for me. Good. Now, focus on my hand on your chest. Can you feel my hand on your chest? Can you feel it moving when you breathe? June looks down at my hand, making me move it to his chin and raise his head. What? Making me move it to his chin and raise his head so he slowly looks at my face. Now you don't need to look at it. Just feel my hand on your chest. Okay. Now, I want you to breathe for me, okay? Just focus on moving my hand around when you do it. 4 seconds in, 2 seconds out. 4 seconds in, 2 seconds out. Can you do that for me? I'll try. June starts to take deep breaths. He struggles a bit at first, but his breathing starts to become more and more regular. Takes a couple of minutes, but I can feel his body relaxing with my hands. I make sure to smile at him the whole time, reminding him that I'm here to help. I feel a bit awkward about doing this in such a public place, but my number one priority should be June. There we go. You're doing a lot better already. Do you feel any better? A little. I don't feel like I'm gonna suffocate anymore. That's good. See, there's nothing for you to be afraid of. It's just a day like any other. You're fine. He swallows hard, and nods. It makes me feel a bit better to be able to help him in some way. At least I don't have to stand around and feel helpless. Now, how about we talk about something more pleasant, huh? Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Not really.
Come on, there must be something. Just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, there's this book series I really like. The new book just came out last week, but I don't have the money to buy it yet.
Oh, that's cool. What's the series about? I was just looking to distract him with some pleasant conversation, but this might actually be interesting.
It's called The Murderous Queen Trilogy. It's a story set in a fantasy world about a former queen who escapes death after her husband is overthrown and killed in a rebellion and goes around looking for vengeance.
That doesn't sound at all like something I'd expect you to read.
Why? You think I can't enjoy a mature, complex story?
What? No! Yes.
Well,
it's just that you tend to go for more happier stories. I've heard you talk about some games before, and they were all very teen-friendly. This one sounds like something that wouldn't be recommended for a 17-year-old.
Well, the rating is 17 plus, and I'm 19. Don't see the issue here.
True enough. If a bit out of character, at least in my opinion. And the book that was just released was, the second one? Jun shakes his head negative.
It's the last one. I read the first two and they were really good. Although I'll admit, I was just 14 when the first one came out, so I wasn't actually supposed to be reading it. My dad was just feeling very tired and he took me out to buy a birthday present and look at the book I picked.
Sounds like lazy parenting at its finest.
Mom was really mad when she found the book. Poor Dad got the brunt of it.
As he should, letting a 14-year-old read something like that. But then again, I've played games that were like that when I was a kid, so I guess I'm not one to talk. Well, it sounds like you like it a lot. What was the name of his third book, just for curiosity's sake? Might just end up buying it for him later.
What was it called again? The Red Keep.
That's an interesting name. Might end up picking up a copy of one of these for myself. Well, what else? Tell me more about it.
I'd rather not. You might want to read them in the future. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Spoilers are my bread and butter. I don't care about spoilers. Come on, tell me more. Anything that keeps you talking and stops you from freaking out.
Well, okay, but first, can you take your hand off my chest? There's people looking and it's a bit embarrassing.
I only notice it when he points it out, but I pull away immediately and get up on my feet. Try to slyly look around to see if there was a couple heads turned in our direction. Damn, my cheeks feel hot right now. I guess June wasn't the only one being distracted by our conversation. I'll just sit right here. I take a seat next to June on the bench. All the awkwardness that I was feeling because of what happened yesterday has now come back in full force. Damn, it feels weird all of a sudden. No, power through it. I've gotten this far. I can't allow him to start moping again. Well, anyway, you were going to tell me more about those books. June smiles and immediately sets my heart at ease. It's so good to see a smile back on his face.
Well, the story starts with Ella, that's the protagonist's name, by the way, Ella Rochelle, in a tavern. A man sits next to her and tells her she looks pretty and starts flirting with her, and she asks him to buy her a drink. When he's not looking, she slips a bit of viper venom in his ale and excuses herself to go to the bathroom, and after she sees him drink it, then she escapes the tavern while he dies. Then we get taken to a flashback about how she was forced to go to exile after her husband was dethroned and murdered, and their children were killed. She talks about making a deal with a witch to grant her a new face that she wants to use to kill the ones who masterminded the rebellion. Then later on, as the minutes start to pass, I can see June's body has already stopped twitching entirely. I finally begin to rest a bit easy, knowing that he's calmed down immensely. He continues to talk to me about his book, enthusiastically describing the story to me while still keeping himself very vague at certain points. I guess he really doesn't want to spoil me after all. He starts to perk up considerably. His gestures become more full of energy and his smile becomes wider.
After what I assume have been 15 minutes, he's almost back to his usual self, which makes me sigh in relief.
You right, Rutherford, son? I'm not boring you, am I?
No, nothing like that. I'm just relieved.
Relieved? About what?
Cocks his head to the side like a curious little puppy. It's adorable seeing him behaving like this again. I decide that there's no harm in telling him. Well, look at how much you've calmed down. You're acting like yourself again. Jun blinks a couple of times, his eyes becoming wider.
Hey, you're right. I do feel better.
See, I just managed to calm you down. I'm suddenly wrapped in a massive orange fur when Jun pounces on me out of nowhere, enveloping me in a warm, tight hug.
Thank you so much. I didn't even realize it, but you were worrying about me this whole time.
While the feeling is certainly nice, the first thing I worry about is people around us seeing all this. I give him a few taps on his arm. Okay, easy there, Tiger. We're still in public, remember?
Right.
His tail immediately stands upright as he pulls back from me, scratching his reddened cheeks in embarrassment.
Sorry, I just kind of lost control.
It's alright. I don't mind. It's a nice feeling. Just we're in public, okay?
Okay.
Oh man, he's too precious. Please, Jun, never change. Jun Kobayashi! A voice calls out Jun's name. We both turn our heads and search for it at the same time. Oh my, look at that mane. We both see a lion dressed in a red shirt and a pair of cargo pants. The lion stares at Jun with wide eyes, his mouth in an O shape. Oh my god, I didn't believe I saw your name at the list of participants, but it's really you!
I'm sorry, but who are you?
Oh right, it's been 7 years! No wonder you wouldn't recognize me. I grew a lot taller and I didn't even have a mane back then.
Wait, Akutagawa-kun?
Lion smiles, putting a hand on his waist, making the bracelets he has on his wrist clink. You haven't changed much, all things considered. Well, you grew a bit, in both directions. Still, I heard you gave up on the piano after that incident 7 years ago. What brought you back? Noticing the change in Jun's demeanor, the lion awkwardly scratches the back of his neck. Sorry, I let curiosity get the better of me. I understand if you don't want to talk about it. Still, it's good to see you again. Maybe I'll finally have my revenge. I'm sorry to intrude on your conversation, but what's going on? Let's talk about vengeance. My sudden interjection makes Jun jump up from his seat. He apparently forgot that I was here.
Oh, that's right. Rutherford-san, this is Shinji Akutagawa. He used to be a friend of mine back when I still participated in competitions.
Oh, please, let's just call it what it is. No need to play friends with me. You and I were better rivals.
Huh? We were?
He falters, gasping and gaping in shock. Hey, are you kidding me? Of course we were rivals. I always had to share the podium with you. You have no idea how bitter about it I was.
Wait, we shared the podium? I don't remember that.
Jun scratches at his cheek, and the lion looks at him completely flabbergasted. Are you seriously telling me you forgot about me?
Well, I didn't forget. I remember talking to you before and after the competitions, but I don't remember how you played or where you placed. I wasn't really paying attention.
What, you self-absorbed prick! I spent all this time thinking about you and you didn't even remember me! Big comical tears start forming around his eyes as he begins to pout.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Forget it! You and I will square off on the stage and I will destroy you. Just make sure that weak set list of yours doesn't spell your doom. I'll make sure the name Shinji Akutagawa is one you'll never forget. He runs off without a second glance, leaving us to eat dust.
Well, that was a bit
weird. Jun nods in affirmative, still looking confused.
By the way, Rutherford-san, when are the others getting here? It's already 9:35!
Well, K-kun and Saya said they'd arrive about 9:40, so he should be getting here sometime soon. Chuchu will probably take at least an hour since he's dealing with some issues at school.
Issues?
Yeah, I forgot to get excused to come here today. Shuichi's at school right now trying to set things straight so I won't get punished for skipping.
Wait, don't you need parental permission for that? How is he gonna get you excused?
Well, he'll just work his magic. He's student council president. I'm sure he'll manage.
I see. Wait, why is he the one getting you excused?
Well, it was his choice to go at my place.
Why would he do that?
Well, he was a bit worried that I'd... June stares at me with inquisitive eyes.
Yes?
He was a bit worried that I'd say something I shouldn't and end up getting in trouble. Oh shit.
So, he basically said you were too incompetent to do it.
That is not what he said!
But it's what he meant.
Ugh. When did you get so snarky?
I learned from watching you guys talking to each other. Isn't this what you do?
Oh boy, I suddenly feel like a bad influence.
Don't worry, I'm just pulling your leg. It was just funny seeing that look on your face.
We have created a monster!
Anyway, can you try calling Shuichi-san and ask him if he's gonna take long? I kinda need him to be here soon.
My your performance isn't due until 12:30.
Well, yeah, but all the performers need to go backstage to prepare half an hour before the first performance starts, and then we just stay there to concentrate on our performance.
Wait, isn't the first performance in an hour?
Yeah. What?
Why didn't you say this sooner?
Why? You didn't ask.
So if I don't ask you something, you just won't tell me. Crap, I have to call Shuichi and tell him to hurry. Later. I walk away from June, going to the entrance of the concert hall where the phone signal is a bit better. 2 bars, that should be plenty. Now, if I see if I can actually call him. Rutherford, get here now! Jeez, are you trying to make me deaf or something? What's going on? Is everything okay? Are you still in school? I just left. I'm heading to the train station now. Why? Run to it. You must get to the first train that comes by. What? The next train is in 5 minutes. There's no way I can catch it. What's this even about? June has to go backstage in half an hour. If you don't hurry here, you won't be able to see him until after his performance. Shuichi, why didn't you tell me this sooner? I have to pull my phone away from my face at the risk I'm going deaf. Geez, this isn't my fault. Why am I the one getting yelled at? Didn't you just complain about me doing just that? I don't care. Why wasn't I informed sooner? Because I didn't know myself. June only told me about it now. I hear groaning on the other side, followed by the sound of running steps. Forget it. I'm going to try to make it to the station in time for the next train. Don't let him go anywhere until I get there. I'll try, but I don't know if I can. Don't let him go anywhere until I get there. Just like that, he shuts the call off, and I'm left with ringing in my ear. Well, I guess that takes care of that. Now to go back to boo! I nearly fall on my ass as Cascade suddenly jumps in front of me, scaring the crap out of me. Gotcha. What the hell? Sorry, I saw you on your phone and I couldn't resist. When did you even get here? Oh, about 30 seconds ago. I came in with Saya, but she left to go look for Kobayashi. And like I said, I couldn't resist, so I stayed behind. Keisuke chuckles, puffing up his chest with satisfaction. I sigh. That's just great for you. Can we please get back to June and apparently Saya? Wow, someone's in a bad mood. Yeah, I didn't have a very good day. What happened? Well, it was crazy, really. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Keisuke scratches at his chin, obviously curious. Try me. Okay, then. Well, I came here to the concert hall today and met up with June, then something happened. I had to step away for a second. Yeah. Keisuke's always been a sucker for dramatic stories, so I make sure to make a dramatic pause. He gobbles it up like a rabbit with carrots. Or a hare. End of the matter. Then, all of a sudden, this crazy lunatic hare jumps out of nowhere and screams at my face! His face immediately deflates. I see a twinkle of humor and curiosity in his eyes die out. Har har, very funny. You think so too? Great, I myself thought it was hysterical. You really are an idiot. Well, consider that payback for nearly giving me a heart attack. Fine, I get it, let's just go join the others already. Without waiting for a response, Kei-kun walks away from me. Hey, don't leave me just hanging. Jeez, did Keikun run towards them? How did he get here so much quicker than I did? First thing I noticed when I reached them is that Saya seems to be talking very excitedly. Wait, what's with these look on these two's faces? The bomb went you and then the burn a zoom and a frickin' Is that an actual conversation? I'm not sure if it's even Japanese. Oh, Rutherford-kun. Holy shit, she's huge! She's huge! Holy tits! Saya quickly hops towards me, waving. Hey, suck! Good morning! She jabs me in the torso with her outstretched hand, hitting me right between the ribs. I have to hold on to Keikun's shoulder to keep myself from falling down. She completely knocked the air out of me with that. I can't breathe. Saya stands in her spot, looking innocent. Are you alright, Rutherford? You don't look so good. Of course I don't look good. You just knocked the air out of me. What? I didn't hit you that hard. It was just a friendly poke. No, Mizuguchi-san, that was a bit... Remind me to never walk within arm's reach of you. Oh, come on. I was just wishing him a good morning. She stares guiltily at me as I gasp for air. If you do that to someone when you're trying to be nice to them, I'm afraid of what you do when you're angry. I've heard some stories. Oh, really? Do tell. Well, there's a time where... Hey, quit it! Yes, ma'am! Oh boy, I wasn't ready to get stabbed in the gut first thing in the morning. I already said I was sorry for that. Actually, you didn't. She gives his frightening, murderous glance. Kobayashi-kun, she said she already apologized for it. What? Seriously, you're trying to deflect the blame to someone else now? Great, the day has barely started and you're already terrorizing the community. Well, I feel like I can finally stand on my own 2 feet again. Man, I thought I was gonna puke my guts out after that one. Sorry. At least now she's apologizing. What were you two talking about anyway? Oh, I watched a video of a Challenger level tournament yesterday. It was amazing. You mean the one that happened in Miami? You saw it too? A little. I watched about 15 minutes of it before it made me want to go outside and practice. Must be nice being able to watch the things you like on TV. Concerts and orchestras don't get nearly as much attention as sports do. Not many people like classical music to begin with, so it'd be a tough sell. But there's still some channels dedicated to that sort of content. And they're usually premium channels that you have to pay top dollar to watch. That's true. You won't have to worry about that sort of thing for long. You'll be going to a music academy next year, and you'll see tons of concerts and orchestras. God damn it, Saya. You have any idea how long it took me to calm him down? I had to go and remind him of it. It's not that easy. Unless I graduate from a very prestigious academy, finding a job as composer would be hard. And those are really expensive. I need a scholarship to be able to attend, and I need an impeccable record to get one. I basically have to join every piano competition possible and have to win them all just to have a chance. Yeesh, sounds rough. That's what I get for being out of the stages for 7 years. Oh yeah, this reminds me. Jun apparently has a rival. What was his name again? Toriyama Akiyama. What was that lion called again? Akitagawa-kun? Ah, yes, that was his name. Boy, I was way off the mark on that one. Yeah, it's this big lion guy. He said it was Jun's biggest rival back when they still performed in competition. Apparently Jun beat him every single time. You should have seen it. He came here swearing vengeance and all that. Wow, sounds a bit cliche. Jun let us out a nervous laugh. Yeah, Akitagawa-kun was always pretty intense. He had a penchant for being dramatic, even when we were kids. I guess he hasn't changed even now. Well, this could be fun. That means we actually get to watch some competition. Oh, I know. I have the list of participants here with me. We could check out when he's performing. Oh, that's a great idea. I haven't checked it yet. It's going to be like right before or right after, isn't it? Keikun pulls a flyer out of his pocket and unfolds it. In it are pictures of many kids with some details written next to them. It seems that these are their set lists. Each player is allocated 15 minutes to perform, and they can perform as many songs as they want in that time. Let's see, Kobayashi-kun, you're going with Allegro Appassionato and Chopin's Etude Op. 25, number 12. Not quite hitting the 15-minute mark. Oh, fuck you knowing everything, rich fuck.
Yeah, I was afraid stamina might be an issue, so I chose to keep my set list a bit on the short side. I'm actually surprised you know these songs.
Really? Son of a rich house. I was force-fed this kind of music since I was 7. My grandmother tried to force me to play the violin.
Doesn't sound like it was very fun.
It wasn't, but I survived. Anyway, let's see. There he is. Oh, let me guess. Is it right before or right after? Character nearly buries his face in the paper. Huh? His voice is so loud that it leaves my ears ringing.
Jesus, give us a warning before you do that.
Is there something wrong with him? Well, he's performing Franz Liszt. I stare at him in confusion. Is that name supposed to mean something to a... When I look to the side, I see June's face nearly lost in all its color. June, you okay?
What song? His voice comes out crackly and incredibly small.
Grande Fantasti de Bravo de Bershel blah blah blah. The Huda, what now? June swallows audibly. I am sure his face has gone at least 3 tones whiter. His voice comes out almost in a monotone. Franz Liszt is a world-renowned composer. His works are said to be some of the most technically difficult in existence. That song, Grande Fantasie, is considered one of his most difficult pieces. Not many pianists attempt to play it because of how difficult and demanding it is. The song is exactly 14 minutes and 59 seconds long. Even for an easier pace, stamina would be a concern. For that song, though, if he plays it mildly well, he's going to almost certainly win the competition. If he plays it well enough, he could even get world recognition. That's how difficult that piece is. But wait, the way you're saying it sounds like he's already got this in the bag. Don't you think he can pull it off?
Yeah, I mean, didn't you say that even professionals tend to stay away from that song? What makes you think a high schooler could play it?
Why would he submit it in his set list if he can't play it?
Okay, Coon, you're not helping.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be realistic.
7 years ago, I don't think he could have. If he were good enough to do this song, then I'd remember it, but I need to go talk to the organizers. I cut June off before he's able to walk away, putting myself in his path. Whoa, 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 don't tell me you're going to be dropping out just because of this. I notice June clenching his fist so hard that I'm afraid his claws are going to puncture through the palm of his hand. I'm going to increase the difficulty of my own set list.
Whoa, calm down for just a second there. Didn't you just say a second ago that you chose your songs because of stamina was a concern? If you increase the difficulty even further, then...
I have to fight fire with fire. Now I understand the comment he made on my set list. It isn't bold enough. He's gonna completely bury me unless I take the risk.
And what are you gonna perform? You haven't practiced other songs.
There are 2 I already know by heart. I used to perform them a lot when I was younger.
Which ones?
Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata 3rd Movement, Presto Agagiato, and... Wait, I remember that name.
Isn't that the song you were playing when we met? He nods.
It was the song I played the most. It was almost always in my set list for all the competitions I took part in.
I still remember walking to the music room that day.
The other one is Chopin's Etude Opus 25, number 11, Winter Wind. They might not be as difficult as the song Takutagawa-kun chose, but they're both very technical. If I play the 2 of them together, I might have a chance of winning.
They're also incredibly fast-paced and demanding. Are you sure you can even handle playing those 2 together? You'd be mashing the keys almost non-stop for 10 minutes.
If Akutagawa-kun is willing to take this much risk with his song selection, then I have to do the same.
The difference is that he had time to practice his song, and you didn't. You were too busy practicing your old set list. June purses his lips, shoving his hand down his pocket and looking down at the floor.
I know that, but I have to try. Like I said, I know these 2 songs by heart. I performed them so many times I can play them in my sleep.
But can you play them as well as you need to? If this guy's performance is even remotely decent, then yours is going to be absolutely need to be absolutely perfect in order to win.
I know that!
June raises his voice, making both Saya and I jump back a step. Keisuke stares at him, bewildered. I even notice a few heads turning our way. June, realizing the sudden attention coming our way, crosses his arms, looking back down at the floor.
I know that. But if I don't do it, then I'm going to guarantee a loss. You said it yourself, even with these 2 songs, I need to be absolutely perfect to stand a chance. What chance do you think I have with my current set list? Keikun crosses his arms, rubbing his right elbow with his hand as he looks away, biting his lip.
None.
Exactly. The two just stand awkwardly, rooted to their spots, not looking at each other. The atmosphere suddenly becomes so weird and awkward that it's hard for me to say anything. Well, if that's how it is, then you should just go to it or get to it already. That's when Saya speaks up, drawing everyone's attention to herself. She stands there smiling, looking either completely oblivious of the weird mood surrounding all of us or just simply not caring about it. I'm not even sure if they're going to allow me. The set lists are decided weeks in advance. Well, you won't know unless you try. Nothing's going to happen if you don't try. You're right. I'm going to be right back. June walks away, looking for the competition's organizers. Now that I think about it, one of us should probably go with them, huh? I exchange glances with Sayu, who apparently picks right up on what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go after Kobayashi-kun, make sure he doesn't get lost. Keikun nods in agreement.
Probably for the best. Let's not forget, he still gets lost at school. I wouldn't put it past him to getting lost here.
Alright, I'll catch you with you guys later. Kobayashi-kun, wait up! With that, Keikun and I are left alone in the middle of the busy lobby.
Well, I guess that's that. Hopefully he doesn't end up in that much trouble.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that you know the classical music, though.
What, really? You too? Come on, rich kid from a traditional family. You really doubted, even for a second, that I wouldn't be exposed to classical music.
You said your grandmother forced you to practice violin. Does that mean you play?
A little. I was forced to practice for 3 years, but I purposely did badly whenever she came to watch just to spite her. Eventually she just gave up, saying I was horrid at it. I was never forced to touch an instrument again. If only she knew I was just faking it. Actually, I was actually kind of decent at it. I was just hated the damn thing. Dad got the raw end of the deal, though. For what he tells me, she was much more relentless when he was a kid. She forced him to pick up the piano because she wanted the prestige of having her son be a pianist. Then he fell in love with the piano and decided to become a professional pianist. She, of course, was all too happy to oblige, since he was only the second child and was never going to inherit the business anyway. Then, right as he landed his dream offer to play for a prestigious orchestra in France, his brother died and she forced him to take up the business. Wait, so she forced him to play the instrument that he didn't want to, then he decided he actually liked it and wanted to make a life about it. She took it away from him. Then when he decided that he actually liked it and wanted to make it his life about it, she took it away from him and forced him to become a businessman. Only one of the many reasons I hate my grandmother.
That's really awful. I'm surprised you even told me this. You never said much about your home life.
No one's ever asked, and I never actually had any reason to say it. This time, just kinda came up as an interesting tidbit on the conversation we were already having.
So you won't volunteer any information about yourself unless someone asks you?
Nope, I'm not that interesting a person to start talking about myself for no reason. Unless it's something that can be relevant to the conversation, that is.
So, you're saying if I asked some questions about you, you'd answer them?
Maybe later.
Why later? So you are evading this after all?
No, it's just that I see Urata coming our way now, and it looks like he might drop any second now.
What?
Where? He went over to the organizer's office.
What? I told you to keep him from leaving until I got here. Shuichi grabs my shoulders, baring his fangs at me in anger. As much as I'd love getting blamed for everything. I pull both his hands away from my arms. He hasn't gone backstage. He just went to have a word with the organizers of the competition to see if he could change his set list.
Oh.
He stares at me awkwardly, slinking back to a less threatening position and scratching the back of his neck. I cross my arms and shift all of my weight to my left leg, giving him a smug look. Shuichi looks down at the floor, embarrassed.
Sorry.
I laugh, having some innocent fun at his expense.
By the way, why are you so sweaty? You smell like you just ran a marathon.
Keikun pinches his nose mid-sentence, making his voice come out all nasally, funny.
Smell like a marathon.
That's because I did. I had to run from our school to the station in under 5 minutes if I wanted to catch the closest train. Then I had to run from the station all the way here. I give him a thumbs up. Good job! I can barely even stand. Don't praise me as if I were a kid who finally learned to clear a table. Alright.
Easy, good boy, easy, good boy. What am I, a dog? Shuichi grabs my shoulders again, giving me a firm shake. Well, technically, shut up! Keikun lips quiver on another half smile, full of smugness and satisfaction. Well, what else do you expect me to say? I didn't know you had to praise you. I didn't know I had to praise you every time you did something nice. Like you said, you're not a kid or a dog. Well, technically, shut up! Keikun chuckles, seemingly very happy with himself. You don't have to praise me. It's just feels nice when you do. Okay. All right, I get it. We're gonna go with praise. I reach upwards to put my hand on top of his head, petting affably a few times, even scratching at the back of his ears a little bit. You did a good job, Sho. June is going to be very happy that you made it. Aye. He blushes furiously, looking down at his feet instead of at me. Thank you. Yeah, you did great, man. It was really nice that you went through all that trouble for June. Well, it wasn't that much trouble. In the corner of my eye, I see Keisuke stifling a laugh. He's never been Shoichi. He's never seen Shoichi being bashful before. I'll admit, it's quite a 180 from his usual attitude. A devious idea shines on my head, and I don't hesitate to try it. Yeah, you did good. You did very good. He's a good boy, he's a good boy. He blushes further, muttering out his words almost incoherently. Hey, wait a second. He steps away from me, looking super pissed. What'd you almost make me say? Unable to hold it any longer, Keisuke burst into laughter, making Shoichi finally remember that he was actually there. I have no idea what it is I just saw, but I'm glad I have seen it. What? Shoichi blushes something fierce. Even the tips of his ears go red as they both flop downwards onto his face. You'll pretend you never saw this. We both know that's gonna be impossible. You suck. I'm well aware of that. What else is new? You already had your fun, Keikun. Lay off him a little. Oh, I was just getting started. Well, just stop, okay? Alright, I won't tease him about it anymore. Thank you. Shoichi breathes a sigh of relief as his entire body relaxes. Alright, fine. Enough with the tease Shoichi game. Sure, let's play the please go pat yourself and dry in the bathroom game instead. I heard it's very fun. And while you're at it, please use some deodorant. The strong smell of sweaty dog is offensive to my nose. What? Now you're just going out of your way to insult me. Keikun pinches his nose again and starts breathing through his mouth. I'm doing no such thing. My nose is just really sensitive and the smell is starting to make me nauseous. Well, Rutherford, you don't mind it, right? Alright, the majority is saying they don't mind. I don't really mind your smell. What? See, I told you, but that doesn't change the fact that you're in public, so you should take other people into consideration. Even if Keikun and I don't mind it, there are other people who are going to be sitting next to us. You should do it just as to not bother them. Is that why you're only reasonable when being... Why is it that you're only reasonable when being reasonable is something that would annoy me? Why are you being so against this in the first place? I can't believe that you'd be okay with being sweaty and smelly in public. I'm not. I just... Shuichi kicks up some dust on the floor, looking down at his feet. God, I'm not gonna wait 15 minutes for you to finally admit this. I turn to Keikun. Shuichi's afraid of public bathrooms. What? You are such a tattletale! What? Wait, oh, what? Why? Why would you be afraid of public bathrooms? I'm not afraid of them. Not exactly. I just think they're really, really gross, and I'd rather not go inside one. I feel like I can catch an STD just by breathing the air inside of them. What? This building is national property. The whole place is spotless. You can eat off the floor. Ew, eat off the bathroom counters. Ew. Ew, no, don't even say that as a joke. I think I can feel my stomach crawling up and curling itself into a ball. You're weird! I guess this explains why I never saw you going into the bathroom whenever we go out. But wait, what about school? Doesn't that count as a public bathroom? Are you kidding? I spend more time in school than I do at my own home. That place is already a second home to me. What? That doesn't make any sense! Shoichi scratches his neck, looking away. In essence, Shoichi is basically just weird. How cruel of you to say this to my face. Oh, please, I didn't say anything that you yourself haven't already said before. What? But oh, screw it, you're right. Keikun and I laugh at his reaction, making him shoot us both a death glare. So I don't like dirty places, so what? Everyone's got something they don't like. Yeah, but people don't usually have fears that keep them from doing something as basic as going to the bathroom. I already told you, I'm not afraid of going into the bathroom. I'd just rather stay away from it because it makes me feel uneasy and uncomfortable, okay? Dude, that's the textbook definition of fear. Keisuke laughs, making Shuichi shoot me yet another death glare. Bite me. Are you serious? Hares have pretty strong teeth. He opens his mouth a little, pointing at his teeth. What? I didn't mean literally! Too late. Keiki lunges at Shuichi with his mouth open, going for his neck. Are you a hare or a vampire? He's Bunnyzilla or whatever the fuck. Bunnicula. Bunnyzilla. Fucking idiot. Bunnicula. Shuichi reacts fast, pushing him away. What? No! Keikun falls back, laughing. I'm sorry, your reaction was just too funny, I couldn't resist. You do realize we're in public, right? Yeah, so we're horsing around a little, big deal. You have the weirdest sense of humor, and of timing. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, you two behave. I don't want to be seen with two guys acting like complete lunatics in a public place. Why do you even care? It's not like you're gonna meet these people again. You're an athlete. You're part of a completely different circle. People who go to tennis games don't usually attend classical music competitions, so it's not like any of them know you. Oh, really? Because you, me, Shuichi, and Saya all go to tennis games. And yet we're here. Well, yeah, but that's because we know June and he's competing. Yes. And if it's possible for those circumstances to exist for us, then not all stand to reason that it could be true for someone else. Besides, you yourself admitted that you like classical music. I suppose you're right. I guess I went a little overboard. Yeah, besides, if Rutherford is the one lecturing you about this sort of thing, then you should take that as a clear sign that you need to rein it in a little. Hey, that's true. What? I'm not that bad. You're the ones who keep arguing in public and end up getting people complaining about you. Remember that time in the diner a while back? Give them a smug smile. Hey, new music. Yo, we're back. So I see. Did everything go okay? Yeah, they opened an exception for me since I was actually increasing the difficulty of my performance. Although they did say they'll double the amount of points deducted for each mistake I'll make. What? That's crazy. Why'd you agree to that? I'm not planning on making any mistakes. See? I asked him the same question and he answered with the same thing. Saya gives him a few enthusiastic pats on the back. I laughing. She nearly sends him under the floor. When did you get so bold, Kobayashi-kun? Ow, ow! Mizuguchi-san, please stop slapping me! What, not you too? I'm not even that strong, I'm not Shoichi! It's not about being strong, Saya-chan! 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 It's about not knowing how to control your strength. Oh, like I want to hear that from you. Saya gives him a cold stare. What? I don't hurt people at random. Anymore. I add this to his sentence. Yeah, anymore. Saya huffs, unamused. Alright, I won't touch anyone ever again. I'll spend the rest of my life rest of my cold, sad existence without knowing the warmth of another person's touches. Happy now? She starts being melodramatic in an attempt to state her displeasure. Yes. Without batting an eye and giving no attention whatsoever to what drama, June answers her with a single word. Jeez, that's cruel, Kobayashi-kun. Anytime. He answers with feigned ignorance. The reason I can tell it's not legit ignorance is because his mouth is quivering with an attempt to suppress laughter. You know, you two could definitely form a comedy duo. Kobayashi-kun could be the straight man and Mizuguchi-san would be the funny girl. A comedy duo or double act is a traditional form of humor in which a duo has... Are you really explaining fucking comedy to me? The same could also be said of the following pairings. Me and you and Saya, Rutherford, and Jun-kun, and me and Rutherford. Hey, I disagree with that. I am clearly the straight man in our pairing. Who are you trying to fool here? You're barely qualified to be the straight man in your pairing with Kobayashi-kun. Hey, rude! The only thing worse than a fool is a fool in denial. Hey!
Guys, please don't start arguing. I have to leave to go backstage in 2 minutes, and I'd very much prefer if you didn't kill each other while I was gone.
Keikun and Shuichi fist bump, smiling smugly at me. I stare at them, exasperated.
When does your performance start again? 12:30, but I still need to go backstage to prepare. All participants are supposed to wait back there for their performances. Sounds like waiting for your performance to come up will be boring. No offense, Mizuguchi-san, but why did you come if you dislike classical music that much? To cheer you on, of course. I was actually going to bring a bunch of bandanas and a cheering flag I made at home, but Keikun said I wasn't allowed to. She pouts. I already told you, this is classical music. Making any sort of noise during the performances is in bad form. You might distract the competitors. Boo, that's boring. If you don't want to watch it, then just go home. No, then I won't be able to watch Keikun perform. Wait, what? Keikun isn't performing. That's a typo! Then stop whining. Saya pursed her lips, annoyed. You don't have to say it like that. Mizuguchi-san, you already knew this was going to be a classical music performance. You knew other people were going to be performing, and you knew you didn't like this sort of music. So why did you choose to only complain now? Why even show up at all? Because I have to encourage Kobayashi-kun, of course. Keikun looked over to Jun and snapped his fingers, calling his attention. Hey, Kobayashi. Oh, yeah. How do you feel about somebody coming to watch who hates the music and is here only because they think they have to? Well, Jun glances over at Saya, sheepishly rubbing his cheek. I want people to appreciate my music, so it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable if someone is coming over against their will. Gah. But I'm really happy to have you all here. I'm really touched that you'd all come all the way here to see me perform, even more so knowing that you don't actually like classical music. So are you happy about it or not? Which one is it? Yeah, you're 100% contradicting yourself. I might have gone a little too far. Sorry. I was only trying to make the point that complaining about being here in front of Kobayashi would only make him feel bad. Sorry for putting you on the spot, Kobayashi. As if on cue, Saya bows down. I'm sorry if I've been complaining too much. Well, no, it's fine. It doesn't bother me too much. Honestly, I'm just happy you all cared enough to come see me. Of course we'd show up. You're one of us now. Saya gives him a thumbs up, smiling widely. Yes, you're one of us now. My condolences. Honestly, I wouldn't lose this for anything. Just go kick some ass, okay? Shoji gives him a few light taps on the back. After they all say their piece, all four of them turn over to me, looking at me with expectation. But come on, Rutherford, give him some words of encouragement. Well. It's okay, Rutherford-san, you don't need to say anything. A beeping noise echoes throughout the lobby's sound system. Competitors of the 12th Sakura University Piano Competition, please move backstage for preparations. I have to go. Already? Can't you stay a little longer? No, it's easier for the organizers if we are all backstage. Plus, I need to change and need some time to focus, so... Good luck, Kobayashi-kun. Jun nods, turning around to join the mass of people who are going towards them backstage. Jun! I don't know why, but I suddenly had the urge to speak up. I called out to him, and he took a few steps away from us. Jun turned around, looking at me with curiosity. I believe in you! Jun looked dazed for a second, as if he didn't quite grasp my words. Thank you. This time he ran away, quickly joining the others and disappearing from our sights. Well, I guess we already know who his favorite is. Huh? Why was he so much happier when you encouraged him? You didn't even say 5 words. What? When did the two of you get so close that you're able to lift his spirits that much? Even you? Whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Shouting out, I don't care anymore isn't the sort of thing that a person says when they quote-unquote don't care. Shut up! Yes, ma'am. I've known her for 12 years and I still have no clue how her mind operates. And you'll know her for 70 more years and still won't understand it, just roll with it. Shoji puts a hand on my shoulder. Well, as much as I dread the idea, I have to go freshen up a bit. Can't exactly sit down to watch the performances smelling like a musky husky. They'll be opening in the sitting area now, so I'm gonna go get us some seats.